work that I do with my staff, the conversations that we have, the committee work that we should be bringing to board committees, it all ought to revolve around our strategic plan. And you ought to be holding me accountable for the delivery of that strategic plan and meeting the kinds of outcomes that we're going to be eventually be part of that plan. That's part of what I've been asked to do. And back in November, I shared with you at a retreat that we had after the new members were elected, we went through a framework. We talked about our mission, our vision, our goal. Actually, I had a different set of goals. Board had suggested, we had a good discussion about closing the achievement gap as a primary goal, and that was included. And there were other goals that we included. The fact that we, in our last board meeting, added the importance of special ed students, not just in meeting grade level targets, but achieving mastery on their individual goals and objectives in their IEPs. All of this is very important. And I say this because in November and again in December when I presented the budget, I presented the budget in the context of the plan and the focus areas and the priorities of what we wanted to achieve. That happened again in the course of several other budget presentations, and when I even talked about our literacy, K-5 literacy strategy, there are other presentations at the curriculum committee, and again to the full board where I articulated some of the same things that I'm recommending tonight. So the discussion about increasing access, it's over in the blue, far right. I wanted to expand access to after-school and summer programs for more and more of our children. That's what this is all about. This is about extending learning time for more and more of our children. Especially when I find out that we have a lot of students who are bused to particular schools, who have to get a bus to get home. They can't always take advantage of some of the after-school programs. So the next best thing, if children can't take advantage of some of the after-school programs, either one, maybe they can't afford it, or two, there's no transportation back, we need to bring the programs to them. That's what this is all about. Expanding learning opportunities for our youngsters, bringing the program to them. So then I said, okay, where are some of the best sites? So I looked at one particular community site, knew it was going to be renovated, knew there's a health clinic there, knew that there are parents there who go there often for services, that there's a wide variety, and it's in the neighborhood. Looking at 2 or 3 other sites. This is not a one-site recommendation. I would love to see 3 or 4, potentially 5 satellite sites, to the extent that we can afford them, only operating quality programs where teachers are trained, where the Norwalk Public Schools is part of that program oversight and the training that has to take place for teachers, as well as the quality of the instructional program. And that's what this is all about. And so even as far as today, I'm in the process of preparing another letter of intent. A letter of intent potentially to operate, and I'm going to look at the facilities over the next couple of days in Washington Village and Colonial Village, another After the Bell program site. There's a church that I'm talking with about doing the same. So the goal here is simply one of looking at our children, looking at their needs, wanting to see learning going on 24/7 in their lives. In the morning, afternoon, evenings, and Saturday mornings. That's what this is all about. There's nothing more. That's what this is all about. There's nothing else behind this recommendation. And that's what I said here. And just by the way, on the summer school side, in my first day, I visited Brookside and went to see a K-3 program in action, serving about 450 students. And what I found was of all the children, if you look at our assessments, who need the summer program, they were only able to serve about half. And so what I said to you multiple times over the last several months is that I want to double, I want to triple the number of students in summer school programs. I did it in my previous district. We went from 1,000 to over 8,000 students going to school for more learning time, and to the extent that I can use our resources here to serve children and with quality educational programs, that's what I think we should be doing as a system. Now, the fact that it is a memorandum of intent and a memorandum of understanding, actually a letter of intent is clearly non-binding. A memorandum of intent, a memorandum of understanding, depending on how it's written, can be binding. What I'm asking the board to vote on tonight, I know I'm jumping the gun here. What I'm asking the board to vote on tonight is to authorize me to enter into a contractual agreement so we can get some of the specifics worked out, some of the things ironed out. So it is not binding to that extent. It is more it's part of a negotiations process where there's a conveyance of will to enter into an agreement, and that's what this is. And obviously, you need to sit down, you need to work out some of the fine points of that. But please know that what I'm bringing to you, and I will not deviate from this, it's got to be aligned with our plan. It's got to be aligned with what we're trying to accomplish. And ultimately, it's got to impact student performance. It's got to impact achievement, goals, closing that achievement gap. There's a lot of work to be done, changing the culture in our schools, where when students enter our schools, teachers know how to engage them, how to motivate them, how to create that kind of mindset that they too know that they will have the confidence to be successful. That's what we have to change in the system. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's going to happen if we stick to it. It's going to happen if we stick to the agenda. We know we can make a difference. We can make a difference in the lives of our children. Tee them up to be leaders sitting here and sitting in here and wherever else they need to sit in this community. So please know that this is what I brought you in November. I'm going to be consistent with it until we change it. Thank you.
Okay. We're supposed to